Broadcasting live from the Temple of Malice on the plane of Theros, this is Tap Tap Concede. Temple of Malice. That's the red-black one. Red-black Scryland. Mm-hmm. What were you saying about the Temple of Malice before we started?
I was saying that like the flyers that come out of that place are probably covered in itching powder.
Ugh.
Gross.
That sounds like a terrible temple.
You're just like, ow, my hands, they're so raw.
So welcome to Tap Tap Concede. I am here. This is Graham, and joining me is...
Kathleen.
And James.
Alex.
And Alex. And if you're watching the video, you'll see we found a use for our old iMac.
Jimber Jams.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, we once again have Paul over on the production computer.
Holla.
Hello.
Which is... worked out really, really well last time.
Can we start calling Paul Disembodio when he does this?
Disembodio.
I think
Disembodied Paul.
I'm pretty sure Rift Tracks has that locked down.
Jerks.
Disempodio?
No.
Disempolio?
No.
Just
terrible.
polio.
So this week
Born
we're
Paul?
gonna do a crack a pack, and then we're going to talk a bit about a new cube that James has put together, and we're also going to look at the cards that we had you create. Last Tap Tap Concede we recorded before we had seen the responses to the previous Tap Tap Concede.
Yeah,
which is why we didn't talk about the cards last time. So we're going to be looking at the roll up the rim and Tim Horton cards today, or at least some of the ones that sort of jumped out to us as being particularly entertaining. But
first we crack a pack.
Rolling.
First we crack a pack. So what do you have there? So
You've changed our crack a pack.
Nice, James. Nice. Nice hustle, Turner.
So we made a decision, and by we I mean me and Alex made a decision to take out most of the Homelands packs because there were 5 in here.
So we had like a 20%. A 25% chance of hitting Homeland.
So really quickly, I'll run these through. We have a pack of Visions.
Ooh.
We have a pack of Scourge, of Future Sight, of M2012 in Japanese?
Yep.
Mercadian Masks, Apocalypse, Weatherlight. We have 1 pack of Homelands because it would be wrong not to.
It's gonna be the one we have.
We have Ice Age. We have Legions. We have Onslaught, and we have Pack of Chronicles.
And if we do the Homelands, we'll put another Homelands pack back in.
Give her.
Yes, there will always be a pack of Homelands.
Chain the Homelands.
And because we did Ice Age last week, if we roll Ice Age, we will roll again.
Okay.
But that is 12 packs, so we've retired the big green dice.
Well, only for this week.
Until
we get more packs.
Yeah.
We have a tiny D12.
We have a tiny D12, so we're going to roll that.
Right. Obviously, we're going to get Homelands here because we deserve
11.
it.
Ooh.
Onslaught.
Ooh, I'm excited.
It's got a kitty on it.
Wow.
So what was up with Onslaught?
I eat goblins.
Welcome to a world where whole armies transform in the heat of battle. Morph creatures fight face down and erupt into new forms on command, while tribal cards manipulate entire creature types. Tribal cards.
I feel like this block has some good goblins in it, so let's see.
It's got some elves too.
Well,
how about this one? Elvish Warrior.
Okay.
It's a 2/3 for green.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh.
That's not that bad.
It's
It's
fine.
a relevant creature type. It's like that's a French vanilla.
The thing is,
right?
I'm used to paying.
No,
I'm used to getting
that's-
3/3 for 2 green.
It is vanilla.
For 2 green.
A French vanilla has
Power creep.
a French vanilla has one of the normal keywords or
Something
something.
like
okay.
vigilance or flying.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the term for something that's just like really efficiently costed?
Oh, that's
Like
just
a good
Just a
creature?
really. This means it passes the vanilla test.
Yeah,
it's
right.
It's a 2/3 for 3. That's totally cool.
This guy's good.
Festering Goblin. It is a 1/1 for a single black. When Festering Goblin is put into graveyard from play, target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Why is this so good, Alex?
Well, he trades with a 2/2. Also, you can like sack him for.
So he trades up really well.
Yeah, he trades up really well. He's awkward to block because you can ping their X1. You just like fight right into a wall of guys, and they're like, "Well, I don't want to do that. You're just gonna kill my guy who does stuff."
Most recently,
he also has a relevant creature type.
Most recently, we saw him in Modern Masters.
Oh yeah, he was in Modern Masters.
He was.
Did he get reprinted?
Yeah.
Huh.
Battlefield Medic. I remember this guy. Not that I played during this block. I've seen him in other things, is what I'm saying. He is a 1/1 for 1 and a white. Tap. Prevent the next X damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn, where X is the number of clerics in play.
Oh, was this a block that had like cleric tribal?
Yeah, so Battlefield
Apparently,
Medic is a cleric. That's important.
So
Battlefield
it's at
Medic
least
is its
one.
own cleric. Yeah, so it's going to be tapping to prevent 1 damage, more if you have more clerics.
Combos with Rot Lung Reanimator?
Combos with who?
2 and a black for a cleric. When he or another cleric dies, make a zombie.
Micaeus is a zombie cleric, isn't he?
Yep.
Here you go.
Sick.
Like Dead Micaeus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's been oracled to a human cleric now. Too,
Ah,
so there you
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Wait, Micaeus?
No.
No,
Oh,
this-
okay. I was like,
This guy.
Battlefield Medic.
what you got?
Lay waste. 3 in a red, destroy target land. Cycling, 2. So cycling was around at this point. So
that which is actually a really good mechanic. So that's a little on the expensive side for land destruction, but I mean it's for draft that's normal.
Fine.
that's what you'd be looking at now, right? Like
Yeah.
demolish is in Theros block, and it's this exactly the same cost for destroy target artifact or land.
And you don't get the upside of the cycling. If you're like, this is dead, I don't need to do it right now, but I sure would like to.
Yeah.
draw a card.
Cycling is a sweet mechanic.
So the way that cycling works, you see this thing has cycling 2. What it is you pay 2 and you discard the card and you draw a card. And that's because it's an ability, you can do that instant speed, so you can do that at the end of your opponent's turn. You can just pay the 2, pitch the card, draw a card,
it
then
also
untap, draw a card.
can't be countered,
Yeah, because you can't count.
but you can stifle it.
Yeah.
What I like also about stuff like anything with cycling, anything that you can pitch to your bin, sometimes there's cards that like, it's good if you have cards that care about what's in your bin. Like, I mean, I'm thinking more recently,
Anything with,
like a
threshold. Or,
threshold or like a Spellheart Chimera or something like that. I mean, obviously you're probably not going to see those two cards together, but cycling is useful for a variety of things.
Yeah,
not
it
just
also
drawing
gets through
cards.
your deck faster, so it's like cards like Street Wraith are good because it cycles for free, and Gitaxian Probe basically cycles for free. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have cycling, but it's like, don't pay mana, pitch it, draw a card.
Next up, this one's weird, but I can see it being relevant in a tribal set. Mistform Mask. 1 and a blue for a creature enchantment. For 1 colorless, enchanted creature's type becomes the creature type of your choice until the end of turn.
Oh, weird.
Interesting.
I mean, you could stack that too, right? You could be like, pay 1, it's a goblin. Pay another, it's also a cleric. Pay another, it's also a brushwag. Like you
Is
could.
it also, or does it then become a
Oh no, you're
brushwag?
right. Creature's
Yeah,
type
it would resolve
becomes the
top-down,
creature.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Good point.
So then it would have just like a horrendous identity crisis as
Thank
the
you for
stack
catching
cleared.
that. Very strange. Trickery Charm. Ooh, charms are always good.
I love charms.
Me too. I'm
All right,
excited.
let's see what this one is. Single blue.
Okay,
Choose 1. Target creature gains flying until end of turn.
not bad.
Or
Okay.
target creature's type becomes the type of your choice until end of turn.
Better than
Okay.
that stupid enchantment.
Or look at the top 4 cards of your library, then put them back in any order.
I really like that card.
Seems fine.
I mean, the last ability is like Index, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the point being, like,
I mean, like charms are always fun.
Well,
I
they're
like
they're
charms.
flexible. They
I
always have.
assume like this one's basically not relevant outside of like a tribal block like this with the
No.
Yeah.
With the second option there, yeah.
the second option
mean,
because
the-
like the third option's not amazing. The first one is
That's okay.
it's fine.
Yeah, like
could get in
the
for the
older
kill with that.
charms usually had 2 okay abilities and 1 total corner case useless one. The more recent charms are all like usually 3 good abilities, like Golgari Charm, Rakdos Charm.
I
they're
found
all
that there's
amazing.
3 okay abilities, right?
But it's 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Like the Demir charm I really liked because it was like kill something with power 2 or less, which is not amazing, but useful. And it was like counter target
In sorcery,
sorcery, which actually came in handy more than you'd think it would, but still you wouldn't put it on a card. And I can't remember what the third one was.
was
but
it
so,
sorcery or instant or sorcery? Paul's just pulled it up actually, so he can.
It is a counter target sorcery.
Yeah.
Destroy target creature power 2 or less.
Yeah.
Look at the top 3 cards of target player's library. Put 1 back and the rest into that player's graveyard.
Yeah, like
Interesting.
I would not run any of those cards individually, and I find those abilities to be just okay at best. But put together, I fucking love that card.
Yeah.
Elvish Guidance.
Okay.
2 and a green for an enchant land. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds green to his or her. Whoa, holy crap! Sorry, its controller adds green to his or her mana pool for each elf in play.
Yep.
Holy F. Does this card come up in Elf Highlander
I
decks?
don't know if this one quite gets
Is
No,
it
it's-
not efficient enough?
Because that's pretty good.
As sad as it is to say, no, it's not fast enough.
Yeah.
Was it cast for 3?
I mean, compare that to like what is it?
Well,
It's
like
not is
Gaia's
it Priest of
Cradle,
Titania
obviously.
or the elf that taps for mana for every elf you have,
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
which
I mean,
combos really favorably with one other elf that untaps people. It's really dumb. That's what I lost.
that
to
still seems
last night.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Accursed Centaur.
Oh, this guy.
This guy's cool. I like
Hey,
this
it's
guy.
Alex's favorite. It's a 1-drop bear.
Yep.
But
So,
it's the worst
it's the
one
wor-
bear in the world.
It
Oh
really
my God,
is.
it's really terrible.
Yeah.
So bad.
So it's a 2/2 for a single black
Which would be good.
for a zombie centaur. When Accursed Centaur comes into play, sacrifice a creature.
So you can't even play this on turn 1.
Boo.
It's terrible.
That is
Boo.
being so enormously outclassed by everything. Like, compare that to Diregraph Ghoul, which is,
Comes into play tapped, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 2/2 for 1 that comes into play tap.
Digraph Ghoul's sweet.
It's real good.
Also, still a zombie, not a centaur, but how relevant is the centaur subtype?
Not so much.
Is it even relevant in Theros?
No.
No.
Is there anything that is checking against centaurs? There's
No.
not.
No.
There's like a couple cards that care about cyclopses. Is there anything that... There's a bunch of stuff that cares about minotaurs, but is there literally anything in Theros block that cares about
No.
centaurs?
No.
No, nothing. Wow, that card's like a total F on like the Marshall,
It's pretty
like
bad.
Brian, John Laux, like
The
Ryan
limited
Spain,
resources
kind of the
scale.
limited resources scale. Like that's just by the
listing
time
all
you
the
can cast
hosts.
it, I was like, fuck, who
This
came up
is
with that
straight
scale?
the worst.
By the time you can cast it, it sucks ass.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. Oh,
Centaurs should count as both horses and humans for tribal purposes.
That's true.
should.
I like
It's
that.
just like zombie horse human.
yeah. It would be like a little like a miniature changeling ability.
Nice.
Dive Bomber is a 2/2 flyer for 3 and a white.
Ugh.
It's a bird soldier.
Nah.
Tap and sacrifice Dive Bomber. Dive Bomber deals 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature.
It seems not good.
Huh. That's weird.
So this was when damage went on the stack.
Oh, so right. So
Right.
a lot of
So
stuff is a
you
little
could
different.
you could trade this with something with 4 toughness.
Yeah.
Because you could
Make the block.
make the block, the damage goes on the stack, then you sacrifice the Dive Bomber. It does the 2 damage, and then the damage from combat
Yeah, it's
happens.
so much worse now.
There's a couple creatures like this. There's like a goblin that has like a similar thing, but it does like 1 damage. So anyway, in its time, it was probably fine, but now it's just Garbo.
Yep.
I'm glad damage doesn't go on the stack anymore because literally that doesn't make sense. If you're sacrificing it, it's not going to deal any combat damage.
Well, that's part of why
It's
they
been
changed
blown
it.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
There's
It
a couple
done got
people who
blown
get
up.
there's a couple people who get unreasonably upset about damage no longer being on the stack.
I can't play my deck anymore.
Alex,
Yeah.
you'll love it.
Uh-oh.
Sparksmith.
Whoa! Yeah! This guy is an MVP in goblins.
So he is a 1/1 for 1 and a red. He is a goblin. Tap Sparksmith. Sparksmith deals X damage to target creature and X damage to you, where X is the number of goblins in play.
So,
Oh, that's awesome.
like, in mono red goblins where you don't care about your life total, this guy will just zap creatures over and over and over again and get more powerful or less powerful because he plays really well with other creatures that I have in the deck that can sacrifice my own goblins. So it's like I can tailor it down a little bit if I'm like, I don't really want to lava axe myself to blow up this guy. So I don't have to. But no, he's extremely powerful.
Because you have a mono red goblin Highlander deck,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And he is like windmill slam in there. He's he's probably like not cuttable.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really good. I mean, it's repeatable removal that doesn't cost mana. So
Yeah, that
good.
seems extremely good.
Is he
Even-
worth anything?
No, he's like that's the thing is like a lot of the cards in goblins aren't worth anything, but and in a vacuum they're terrible. Like that card by itself is
I mean, he's a pinger.
yeah, it's
That
not
also
it's not
hurts you.
amazing. Yeah, because that one
But
can't,
only
it
for
can't hit.
creatures.
Yeah, it can't hit players.
Oh,
but
yeah,
in
actually,
a
yeah,
goblin
wow.
deck, he's bonkers.
Yeah.
The thing is, even if you only use him to like wipe out like 2/2 flyers and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
little pesky things you can't block anyhow, still so good.
Yep.
All right.
The loneliest sandbar.
Oh
Hooray.
yeah, this is they did a cycle of these lands
Yeah.
that all cycle for one color of the type that they produce.
Yeah, so this is so this is Lonely Sandbar. Is a land, comes into play tapped, taps for a blue. And you can also cycle it for a blue.
Yep.
Okay.
So late in the game, if you draw this, you're just like, all right, pay 1, get rid of it, draw another card.
Yep.
You know what these cards combo with?
What?
Life from the Loam.
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's disgusting.
Life
if you
from the
have,
Loam
if
is
you
a
have
weird-
one of those in the bin, if we could get up Life from the Loam.
You want to briefly explain the dredge interact, like what
Oh,
dredge
Jesus.
is?
Well, throwing cards in your graveyard and then dredging them, because there's a mechanic that they made in original Ravnica where
This was the Golgari mechanic.
if you would draw a card, you may instead mill yourself a certain number of cards to put the dredge card back in your hand. So what you do is if you have Life from the Loam in your graveyard and one of those cycle lands, you cycle the land and use the draw trigger from that. Instead of drawing a card, you dredge Life from the Loam, cast Life from the Loam, which brings 3 lands from your graveyard into your hand, including the cycle card. So
And you just
rinse,
keep
repeat
doing that
next
forever.
turn.
Yeah.
It's just like an infinite source of, graveyard self-mill.
That's
It's a way of generating card advantage.
that
in
is
a
messed
weird way.
up. That is super messed up. And
Haha.
is this actually worth anything? You were
18 cents.
Oh, okay. You were like, oh, cool. When you
Yeah, 18 cents.
All right.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's like-
18
Not,
cents.
not all like super money cards are really good.
A Feto Vulture.
Ooh.
That's not worth it.
That is expensive. That is he is a 3/2 zombie bird. I'm gonna wait for Kathleen to stop coughing. You all right?
Sorry.
It's okay. It's a 3/2 zombie bird with flying
Okay.
for 4 black.
Youch.
sold. I'm
So
sold.
Alex, this is just going right into your mono black deck, right? When a Feto Vulture is put into a graveyard from play, you may put target zombie card from your graveyard on top of your library.
Ugh. Not worth it.
Don't want.
No.
Yeah,
The upside
it's pretty
is that
bad.
you get to freaking time ebb yourself.
Kathleen's gone off to. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. I like the
What is
next
it?
card.
Ooh, explosive vegetation.
That's worth $1.18.
Yay.
We're rolling in
Is this
cash.
just like double rampant growth?
3 and a green for a sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic lands and put them into play tapped. Then
Yeah.
shuffle your library.
It's double rampant growth.
Oh,
Yeah.
the flavor text on this is amazing because there's like the Crosa is the forest.
Yeah.
Right. There's like the Croson grip and stuff like that.
Grippin'
So,
sip.
yeah. the flavor text says that it says. Pardon me. It says torching Crosa would be pointless because it grows faster than it burns.
This isn't the. Is this? We've seen explosive vegetation in other sets, haven't we?
I have no idea.
I don't know if they
don't think
reprinted
so.
it.
No.
No?
It doesn't look like it.
Plane Chase, I think.
Yeah, it's in Plane Chase and Commander.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
they'll,
that's where
they'll
I've seen
often
it.
reprint weirdo cards like that in weirdo sets like that because
Okay.
they're interesting and fun and actually
I knew
pretty
I'd
good.
seen it.
Gluttonous zombie.
Ew.
Boo.
He is a 3/3 for 4 and a black with fear.
Well, that's actually pretty good.
Well, it seems fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine.
Well,
He's gross looking, so that's also fine.
all right. Let's see.
Greed and gluttony led him to death. Now they are his greatest assets. All right.
So now we're hoping
All
for
right.
the snap.
What's the where? No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Oh,
Whammies.
Oh, Dream Chisel!
Dream Chisel
Jesus.
is an
That is
artifact for 2. Face down creatures you play cost 1 colorless less.
Ugh. That is the biggest.
There's fetch lands in this set?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Polluted Delta, flooded strand.
So we could have
wooded
moneyed really
foothills.
hard.
We
but
could. Yeah. We
instead,
could have
our
$100
dreams
card
are
in there.
chiseled away.
That is the worst. That's one of the worst rares we could have opened.
Because
So
it
that's
only works with
That's cool.
morph cards.
Ugh.
So it makes
Ah.
them. So you can play your morph cards for 2 colorless instead of 3.
That's so depressing.
I mean, there's like we could have got break open. That would have been worse. I mean, it's not a rare. Break open is turn target face down creature face
Hey,
up.
Graham, that is one of Chris Ireland's favorite cards.
He's welcome to it.
Yeah. He can
All
have
right.
it.
It's because his
So-
nickname's the Chiseler.
I would like to point out that whoever drew this card doesn't know what a chisel is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? It looks like
It's a key. It looks like a keyblade.
Yeah, but there's nothing sharp on it. It's like a. It's not a. What are you chiseling with that?
I don't know. Do you
So
know?
what's your guys'
Wait, is that
first
why he's
pick?
called Chiseler?
No.
Okay.
He's called Chiseler
the
because
Chiseler.
a friend of his his name is Chris.
This is one of our.
And
This is a local Magic player in
Yeah, and
Victoria.
a friend of his tried to call him Chrysler, but he screwed up and it came out Chisler. And so he's like, yeah, he's the Chiseler.
It's just one of those
Makes me
things
think
that
of
happen.
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Anyhow, James, what's your pick?
Probably just the Elvish Warrior.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Yeah.
Alex?
It's either that or like the Festering Goblin. Like I don't mind the Festering Goblin, but yeah, all these other cards are kind of poopy. I mean, yeah,
I don't know. Is Explosive Vegetation even the worst?
it's not the worst, but it's not.
It's also not the
I don't think
best.
you'd really want to first pick it.
No.
But maybe you do.
Like, say you're opening this pack in a draft.
It's like, where's
Alex.
the bomb?
I don't want to.
It's probably Elvish
I'm not
Warrior.
going to
Yeah.
take that and pass the Elvish Warrior.
Yeah.
That seems silly.
I like that we got Dream Chisel and we didn't get a single morph card.
Yeah, that's sad.
Graham?
Damn Chiseler. What's up?
Womp
What's your
womp.
pick? First pick, you're opening this in a draft.
I don't know anything about this format.
Dream
I'll probably
Chisel,
just take.
Windmill Slam.
I'll probably just take the elf.
All right, Elvis Warrior.
Maybe I'm
Best card in Onslaught.
I have
You've
mono
heard it
green in
here.
my head right now because of the we broke the format again.
Yeah,
So
no
after
kidding.
the MTGO Academy draft where I did the Charging Badger thing in triple Born of the Gods and went 3-0 in the Swiss, last night on stream James and I did a Born of the Gods Theros Swiss draft and just forced mono green, like really irresponsibly forced mono green, and went 3-0.
But then we tried it again in 8-4s and it didn't work as well.
To be fair, that deck was not as good.
Yeah, I
Not-
still
not
don't
as
think it
good as
would
the
work.
deck that we were forced to run a culling mark. in.
I still don't think it's going to work.
Probably not. No.
No.
Oh,
But
well.
you know what? Whatever. Okay.
James, tell us about your cube.
Okay, I built
What's a
new-
cube?
What, we've already gone over what's a cube, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually read really quickly. I'm going to tell you who. So it's not a cube that I put together. It's a cube that another gentleman who writes for Brainstorm Brewery. So if you watch Kenji, you'll know that name. His name is Andrew Coleman, and he put together. I'll read you this because it works really well. I want to build a more affordable cube for people who are just starting out in the format but don't want to play janky cards like Curion Dryad as a replacement for Tarmogoyf's 2-drop slot in green. I plan on doing this a wee bit differently than your standard budget cube build. This is going to be an experiment, so feel free to let me know how it's going at any point during the process. The goal of this cube is to keep the same play experience while spending significantly less money. I
like all of these things.
Let me spoil the Tarmogoyf replacement mystery for you right now. There isn't one.
Whoa.
If there was, then it wouldn't be so bloody expensive as it is. So with that in mind, how is it, you ask, that we are going to get the same play experience off of playing this cube as regular cubes for less money without Tarmogoyf? And then he goes on to talking about finding cards that have finding cards that will give you the same kind of play experience but aren't $100. So he talks about how you can't replace cards like Tarmogoyf
you
because
it's
they
busted.
are irreplaceable.
Yeah.
So instead, look at different kind of cards for
Skin Shifter.
for effects that will give you interesting game states. So the idea, and it's right down here.
James is just grabbing the cube. There we go.
Nice.
The idea behind this cube was, so he put out a call to say, how much should I build this cube for? $200, $400, or $600, I believe.
Ooh.
And I think it was over 50% of the vote went to $200. And he fully admitted that he was hoping for $400. Like, he was like, ugh, okay, we're going to do it because you guys asked me to, and I am not going to back down, but okay, we're going to do this at $200. Doing it at $200, he is going off of the cheapest version of a card that he could find.
So like the ratty one.
So we're talking about if you go on to cardkingdom.com to buy your cards and you need to buy a Thragtusk, and there's a mint condition, a very good condition, a played, or a poor, he goes for the poor. Because the idea is to put together... It doesn't matter if the card looks good or not, as long as it works.
You can worry about foiling it out later.
You can worry about making it look pretty later. And that's something that I'm doing with my Pauper Cube right now. Is I'm pimping the shit out of my Pauper Cube. This I am not doing anything with, and don't plan on doing anything with until maybe next year. At which point I'll try to transform this into a more powerful cube.
So I just flipped through, just because you're talking about Tarmogoyf specifically,
Yeah.
I just flipped through green.
Yeah.
This looks sweet.
Yeah.
This looks awesome. Like, I can just, Terastodon, Rancor, Wall of Blossoms, Worldly Tutor, Eternal Witness, Fauna Shaman, Palaka Worm, Duraga Tree Speaker, Viridian Shaman,
Those
Troll
are
Ascetic.
really,
Like,
really good
These all
cards.
seemed sweet cards.
Yeah.
Like you don't. Yeah.
You're
you don't-
not- you're-
You don't need that.
You are sacrificing some of the most powerful cards in Magic, absolutely, but there are still a whole lot of cards out there that do a lot of really fun things.
Oh, Plow Under. You
And that's
hateful
what
bastard.
and that's what the goal of this cube was. So a couple things. It's a 6-person cube, and that's one of the ways that he kept the cost way down.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it does only have enough. It has exactly enough cards for a 6-person pod.
But that's fine. A lot of the time,
and that's
you end up
fine.
in a 6-person
Yeah,
pod.
absolutely. And
So you mean
there's nothing
by
wrong.
exactly enough? You mean six
I mean,
people will draft every
every
card?
single card in here.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
It's just kind of sweet because then you get the entire pool out.
Yeah, exactly, which is cool because sometimes you have a cube that maybe you have like a 720 card cube.
I like your Mana Elf slot.
Yeah.
You got Arbor Elf, Llanowar Elves, Findhorn Elves, which is basically Llanowar Elves, and the Duraga Tree Speaker.
It should be.
Oh, is there another one?
There might be another one. What are you looking for?
I'm
I
gonna
just want to see a pile.
I'm gonna give Alex the mono black pile.
Can I have the blue pile?
Sure.
You know, it's interesting the different
Sorry, I've
philosophies that people have for cubes. Like my friend Chris, as we were talking about earlier, he has a cube, which is not a budget cube, but he makes very intentional choices about what he includes in it. He has a no Jace's cube.
Nice.
There's no
no
Jace
Jace.
planeswalkers. The
No.
planeswalkers, the blue planeswalkers in it are
well,
Tezzeret and I think Tameo.
this cube would not pass that test because Jace Bellerin is in here.
That seems fine.
Yep. So
Squee? Why do you have
Yeah.
Squee?
James, it's no Jaces. You can have one.
that's true. I can have one. I don't know.
Why is Squee in this cube?
I don't know.
You foil Prack Rat having so and so. Actually, that's exactly why it's in there. Look at that combo.
Oh, yeah.
Squee and
Pack
Pack
Rat Squee, like
Wombo combo.
red black. You know,
So, I
wombo
mean-
combo.
So I did manage to put this cube together for the cost of $0. I spent no money on it, mainly because
Did you just like
I-
go mad trade-ins at Card Kingdom?
Yeah, so I did a
Nice.
bunch of trade-ins with Card Kingdom. I had some leftover credit with Star City as well, and I needed that because there were about a dozen cards that Card Kingdom didn't have and YJ didn't have either. And then I traded in a bunch of stuff to Yellow Jacket and got a bunch of stuff there. I made a couple small trades with Alex and Cam and Jer, I believe.
And this list is available online, right?
And yeah, so I will head over to loadingreadyrun.com/forums and look in the Tap Concede forum for this particular podcast, and I will link. I believe it's a 5-article series that he did over the course of a couple weeks at the end of last year in December.
This is on Brainstorm.
And this is
Brewery.
on Brainstorm Brewery.
Are there any changes you made to his list?
No, this
Okay.
is 100% his list. I have not changed a single thing, and I won't make any changes until I've at least
played it?
Yeah, like I still haven't actually drafted it. There's actually still one card missing from this cube.
What's missing?
I need a snake form.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's sweet.
I need one snake form. It's the
what does
only
snake form
card
do?
that I
It is
need to do.
2 and hybrid blue-green.
Yeah.
Target creature becomes a 1/1 snake until end of turn. Draw a card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
real
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's very, very, very good.
So, can I just say, like, look at this sweet sort of reanimator sub theme in the black here. It's like you have stuff like graveyard enablers like Una's Prowler, which allows you to discard cards, and then you've got fat like Massacre Worm, and then you can just exhume it.
Yep.
It's like, oh, that's a play you could do in 3 turns.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
exactly.
also
GG.
a Psychotog, Alex.
Yep.
If
There
you
is
want
also a
to
Psychotog.
combo into the graveyard with that.
So, I've put this thing together over the last couple weeks. I went through last night and made sure I had absolutely everything, and I am just missing that one card. So,
Oh, that full
The-
art, that full
full
art
art
mortify,
full art modify.
mortify
yeah.
value, yeah.
Yeah. So the plan is draft it,
I like full art cards,
Soon.
but I can never remember exactly what they do, and then I feel dumb.
and then we will we'll get back to you with
The-
how it actually plays.
The
Because I mean,
blue-
there's only so much I can talk about before we've actually played it.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's fair.
the blue seems pretty much like evenly divided between counter spells and draw cards and there's blue seems very supportive in this cube.
It often is.
There's not very many blue creatures, and there's almost no
Force Spike.
There's
Force
almost
Spike is
there's
so
like,
good.
Obviously, there's like the Frostite and stuff like that, but there's like it's mostly just counter spells and draw cards. There's not very many bounces either. There's like an Into the Royal, so that's an interesting choice he's made, which I think is kind of neat.
Plume Veil.
I guess there's a mana.
Okay,
there's a mana war, which is good.
I also like how there's just random Sarah Angel in here.
Yeah, like I mean, it runs Sarah Angel. It runs Vengeful Archon, right? Like this card is nothing special, but what it does is finish games, right? There's not much you can do against a 7/7 flyer that can prevent a whole bunch of damage. So,
Oh, Faith Fetters.
yeah, Face Fetters, Flicker Wisp.
Flicker Wisp, which is like
I
in
love Flicker Wisp.
Death and Taxes now,
Yep.
doing work in a Legacy deck, which
Like,
I'm super
What's the
pumped
Death and
about.
Taxes deck?
Death and Taxes is like mono white aggro control, kind of. I don't know how I would
assume it plays land
characterize it.
tax by the name.
No, it doesn't.
Huh?
Yeah, it's mono white. It plays like Stoneforge Mystic, Mother of Runes, Phyrexian Revoker, King Kitty, Ether Vial, Flicker Wisp, as I said, a couple removal spells, and it's really crushing right now.
One
I think.
thing. Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Paul, do you want to bring up the Ankh?
The Ankh of
Mishra.
Mishra.
Oh,
So
The-
first
the
of all,
card
could
that-
you pull up the art for Ankh of Mishra that we're all familiar with?
There it is, right there.
Which is this art. So if you're watching the video, you can see this art. That's the
That's
one
an
I'm most
Ankh.
familiar with because
Sixth edition.
it's an Ankh. The 6th edition art.
oh dear.
What is this? This looks
Good.
like some sort of Warhammer 40K hell machine.
It looks like Howl's Moving Castle, actually. Is what
There
it
are
looks
no
like.
Ankhs in this picture.
No, it's not even shaped
There is
like
a
an Ankh.
boar head, however.
Yeah. It's like near as we can figure. I think this was Paul's theory. Is like maybe the artist thought it said Ark,
Oh,
and even then it's like,
Ian Miller, what were you thinking?
Yeah,
like
what is that?
Don't get me wrong, this is super cool.
it's
but-
super cool
but
looking.
What
art,
is
but
it?
What is it? Oh my goodness.
How about that, bad boy? You see that?
Oh, the classic misprint.
yeah.
Oh, your Serendipity is the old school misprint one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What card is that art from? It's got to be an elf, right?
No, I think it might actually be a vampire. That might be a black card. I don't actually know what the
James has
artist
the
looks like.
Serendipity that it's a 3/4 for 2 and a blue, and it still has the blue, but
But
it's
the green.
It's
But
frame.
it's
green
green
border.
frame. Yeah.
It's EFREET.
and the wrong thing. I don't know if Paul can actually find the misarted one.
That's
That's the from the vault.
That's
version
from the
that they
vault version.
reprinted with new art.
so
and that's the correct
so
art.
That's So what you're seeing now, this is what the art should be.
Yeah.
But
But in
I
was
mean-
it revised? Yeah, they screwed up.
There it is.
There you go.
oh, they actually have it. There
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
they done goofed. In every possible
I
way.
couldn't
Wow.
not get that one.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
that
Did
goes
that
in
cost
the blue
you more
section.
or
That's
less?
yeah, that is in the blue section. It cost me less.
Huh, there you go.
But yeah, and the formatting is terrible on this.
It's really bad.
It's
yeah.
Oh,
just
wow.
the worst.
The keyword flying is flushed left, and then
Everything
the
else is
rest of the
center
text is
justified.
centered. Oh, this is just a catastrophe.
Awful.
I like
It's
the idea of a
terrible.
$200 cube, though. And I know $200 is quite restrictive, but $200 is conceivable that you could just save up a bunch of drafts.
Well, you and your play group could do it, right?
Yeah,
like it
well,
doesn't
exactly.
it doesn't have to be one person doing it. Although
Yeah,
like
it's-
with trading cards in, if you just have a bunch of stuff lying around. you could
Furthermore, this
totally
cube
do
is
that,
not
but-
going to be less fun than a power cube.
No, it's not.
It won't be.
Yeah.
Like, it will be different,
Yeah.
but it won't be less fun.
That's awesome. I can't wait to draft this and report back.
Yeah. So hopefully in the next couple weeks we can find some time, and we'll let you know in a further episode.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, 2 episodes ago, like I said, we didn't get to it last episode. 2 episodes ago, we asked you to design some cards for us because we were doing the mailbag, and someone was like, "Remember when you used to ask the viewers to design cards?" And we were like, "Oh yeah, we should do that." And we happened to be drinking Tim Hortons that day, much to the dismay of the parsonage coffee shop down the road, which is where we typically go for coffee. For whatever it counts, I was drinking tea, but anyway. So we asked you to design cards for Roll Up the Rim, the Tim Hortons contest promotion where you roll up the paper rim of the card to reveal a prize, or Tim Horton Planeswalker. Tim Horton actually being a hockey player, which may not have been apparent. He is not actually like a donut magnate.
Only in Canada is our most popular chain restaurant named after a hockey player.
Well, I mean, I think that's literally true.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so very Canadian it hurts.
So there was a lot of excellent designs, a lot of bizarre designs. We're not going to go through every single one of them, but there's a lot that we wanted to talk about. James, could you pull some up on your phone there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one that we wanted to talk about the most was this completely busted one.
No, that one's not the most busted.
It's pretty. Oh yeah, no, this one isn't the most busted. This one
is
actually
like
works.
Maybe a little under cost.
So this is the one red.
Okay.
You roll a 6-sided. It's a 1 red instant.
Okay.
You roll a 6-sided dice, draw that many cards, and lose that much life.
So
No.
drawing cards and life loss is not super in flavor for red, but this does have that sort of red flavor
This is
of
like a
like
black card.
of like no. But
It almost
black
works
would
as,
be just
like
you
lose
like
6 life, draw 6 cards.
yeah, or
Yeah.
just pay X life, draw X cards. But this does have the red flavor of like you
the
could
randomness.
yeah, you could just scrub out. You could just pay 1 and draw a card, which is still fine. But then, you're just like, oh, I just paid 3 mana to do that.
I think it would be funnier if you flipped a coin and you either drew 3 or lava axed yourself. So it's like it could be ancestral recall,
It should-
or you could die.
This should probably cost 4.
Yeah.
What if it was roll a dice, draw that many cards, discard that many cards, like loot for or
That's
A rummage.
interesting.
rummage for.
Well, rummage is
it would
uh,
be discard.
Discard and then draw.
but then you have to have a thing that you can't discard more than your hand. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So as long as discard X cards is the cost, you can't pay it unless you have X cards.
Or it might be okay if it was just like discard your whole.
No, but I mean
hand,
like,
draw however many cards.
well,
you
discard
drew.
your whole hand works if you don't have a hand. Right.
Right,
If
right.
you have no cards in hand, discard your hand means you just don't discard anything. But if it's templated as discard X cards, draw, like whatever, if it's like discard 3 cards, you can't activate it unless you discard 3 cards.
Yeah.
So if you played this as like your last card in your hand, then it just roll a dice, draw that many cards, which could be very good.
I mean, yeah, that would be a little broken.
That'd be kind of broken. But if you really want to talk broken, let's go on to the next one.
the blue
here we
one.
This is the blue one.
So most of the roll up the rim cards were red because red, of course, is like the Tim Hortons branding color, which made sense.
But this is
broken.
This is for the same CMC as the last version or last card, but this is 2 and a blue for an instant, and it reads: reveal the top card of your library, draw cards, and gain life equal to the revealed card's converted mana cost. What did you just do there?
I just flipped a 2-drop.
Okay, so you gain 2 life and you draw 2 cards,
Okay, I'll draw this.
and then you
this.
draw that. Okay, so you just drew 2 cards and gained 2 life for 3 mana at
Cool.
instant speed.
Oh,
No.
wait. Let's
That
see if
card
we can go any more nuts here.
That card is so
Let's stack it.
that card is
Hang
so
on.
broken.
Yeah,
It's,
that card has to cost like 7.
You can see that.
I think this card just can't exist.
So that was designed by Red Neptune.
Okay, so wait, no, I'm gonna cast that card again.
Okay, so you
Oh, a 6-drop.
Oh, neat. So you draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
I'll
cards.
just gain 6 life.
And you gain 6 life, yeah. No.
Okay, what if it was flip the top card of your library, draw that many cards, and lose that much life?
Blech. That would be very in flavor with black and extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think switching that to black and maybe making it 2 black and 1.
I kind of dig that because then if you flipped a land, it'd be like, oh well, I just cycled this, so
I paid 3
So
mana to
there's-
cycle it.
There's an is it colored one right above that, Paul, called Roll Up the Rim. Tribal Sorcery Beverage. Cast for 1 blue red. Target creature gains haste until end of turn and draw a card. And so that's fine, I guess. And then Lucky Winner 7. As this spell resolves, shuffle your library, then reveal the top card. If any digit in that card's collector's number is 7, draw 7 cards.
I like that card. That card's awesome.
Okay, that's the best flavor, I think.
It's worthwhile to note that that card has a collector's number of 1 out of 1.
Nice.
What were some of the Tim Hortons that we enjoyed?
There was one on the second page without
Hortons
art that
Planeswalker?
I was a big fan of.
Is it the one that makes Timbit tokens?
There's
No,
a
it
couple
gives.
that made Timbit.
Yeah,
tokens.
there's the one on the second page.
Oh, Kathleen, you'll be pleased to know that someone did do roll up the rim job.
Oh, fantastic.
It's black sorcery. Search your library for an artifact. Put it on the battlefield. Tap. Shuffle your library.
Nice.
Because artifacts
Arthur
are
Brown. Yeah,
Ow! You kids.
that's gross.
I'm happy to do that. Someone did a Netrunner card also, which I was very amused by.
So the one that the one that I'm a big fan. My favorite Tim Hortons Planewalker was it cost for 4 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue. +1, so it comes in with 3.
Okay.
+1 it. Target creature gains double strike until end of your next turn. I just love
we
that
should
so
probably
much.
explain that. One of the better known menu items at Tim Hortons is just called a double,
Double
which
cream,
is
double sugar.
It's
yeah,
just double cream, double sugar
yeah,
coffee.
It's a coffee with
Yeah.
2 creams and 2 sugars. But so you get a large double, and that's
Yep.
make the coffee tolerable.
Yep.
The other coffee's bad.
So for 0, you roll up the rim, and that reads Scry. I assume just 1. It doesn't actually say. So let's just assume Scry 1. Then if you choose to keep the card on top of your library, roll a 6-sided die. On a 1, the card enters play without having to pay the mana cost. On a 2 through 6, the card is exiled, and you feel shame.
Wow.
And then it's -5. Its ultimate ability, which you could do 3 turns after you play it, is you could get target opponent to get Alex donuts.
Love it. Love it.
What's his +1 ability?
Much like playing
That was
lands
the
or
target creature gains double strike.
Much like playing lands or turning more face up, feeling shame does not use the stack.
yeah. That's the roll up the rim.
Sorry, so-
sorcery.
This is one that Paul was pointing out.
Am I reading the sorcery or the planeswalker?
The
Second from
Planeswalker.
Okay, the 2 red white.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tim Hortons Planeswalker cast for 2 red white, comes in with 4 loyalty tokens. +1, target creature gains cumulative upkeep 1. Ugh.
Oh.
And then -2, Tim Horton Planeswalker deals damage equal to his loyalty to target creature or player. Okay. -40, sacrifice Tim Horton Planeswalker. An opponent may pay 40. If they
40
do,
mana.
they receive 40 enchantments called Tim Hortons. They have 1 target creature gets cumulative upkeep 1. At beginning of your upkeep for every age counter on a permanent copy, 1 enchantment called Tim Hortons. If no opponents pay the cost, you receive the enchantments instead?
I'm so confused.
That is terrible. Why
I
did
like the idea.
It's a franchise, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, like
Okay.
flavor wise it's pretty good, but it's really silly.
I like the cumulative upkeep.
Yeah.
I mean, if that mechanic was still around, what
I'm
a
assuming
dick thing to do.
that's indicating that you get addicted to the coffee.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone. There's a lot of other good stuff. I encourage everyone to check out the forums.
Where would you find that thread?
At loadingreadyrun.com. In the forums, there is a sub forum for Tap Tap Concede, and the mailbag episode is full of these bizarre cards. Real quick, Paul, could you just read me the Netrunner card?
So let me just throw
What
it up
the-
there. The Netrunner card has trace to the power of 0.
Okay.
If successful, give the runner 1 tag or do 1 meat damage. Take 1 bad publicity. And it has 10 in the corner and 2 in the other corner. I don't know what those mean.
Okay.
It's been a while since I played Netrunner, so I'm not super clear on it either.
Meat damage.
Is meat damage a thing, or did they just make that up?
I feel like it's probably a thing.
All right, fair enough.
Weird.
So thank you guys for joining us this week on Tap Tap Concede. We'll definitely keep you updated in a future episode with how James's cube
Actually plays out.
Yep.
plays out, and we'll think of another card for you to design next time, unless we can think of one now, which I admit that I cannot.
No, we'll give it a week off.
Okay. Yeah. And if, as always, if you have anything that you'd like us to discuss on the show, hit us up at LRRMTG on Twitter or at LoadingReadyRun on Twitter or just our personal emails. Or, sure, our emails. Our personal Twitters are probably a better bet, though. And, yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.